Honey, time to make another tier list.
Enough with the list, Solly, and I've said that to you before.
Today, Chris and I will be rating the most iconic cheating moments within football, and I gotta say, there are some absolute corkers in here. You know, some better known than others, but we're gonna cover them all.
I'm just excited to see where the try guys are gonna come in this list.
First off, I think we gotta go for arguably the most iconic cheating moment of all time, the Maradona hand of God.
Had to be first. I don't know how he, kind of makes it look like it is a header, though.
I know, it's really sneaky. You gotta hand it to him. Poor choice of words.
I think also the fact that this was quarterfinals of the World Cup, literally on the biggest stage in football, and to just blatantly punch a ball into the back of the net and get away with it is just incredible. Well, personally, I think that has to be in the top for me.
Yeah, 100%. This is setting the bar for elite housery. Keeping with the theme of handballs in important international games, Thierry Henry versus Ireland.
Oh, wow. I forgot about this one.
The Irish did not.
Yeah, Ireland didn't. It's the initial touch. He clearly didn't mean to handball it initially, and the second touch just sort of brings it back into play. Florent Malouda whipping that ball in as well. Streets won't forget.
We are the whitest possible people to be saying the streets won't forget. The country club doesn't forget, you know.
I think this was a World Cup qualifier, and it literally knocked Ireland out of qualifying for the World Cup. He definitely got hated after this quite a lot. You could say that he had Ireland in the palm of his hand. Personally, I'd put that one in very bad boy.
I think it's time to dive into the world of Luiz Suarez next. First of all, sink your chops around this one. When I say this one, I am grouping all three incidents into this.
I can't believe he did it 3 times. Ivanovic's face in this one, he kind of looks like a primary school teacher and some rabid child in year 3 has just sunk his teeth into him. This one is a proper Nazi zombie bite, the first one.
Yeah, straight for the jugular.
That is awful.
He just sees the arm out in front of him and he's like, I'm never going to get a better opportunity than this. Oh, and here's number 3.
Oh yeah, and this one.
What's Chiellini done there? He's just kind of there and then he just goes for a little nip to the shoulder.
I love how Ramirez is trying to put his sleeve back up as well. Just trying to get rid of the evidence. I'm sure he got away with all of them. Crafty little piranha.
He did get punished for these crimes eventually.
You could say he's probably bit off a bit more than he could chew in the end. I'm leaning towards very bad boy.
Maybe going for the third was pushing it a bit far, you know. And we're not done with Suarez just yet. The handball against Ghana.
He handballed it right and then celebrated in the tunnel once the penalty was missed.
I mean, he blocked the first one legally.
The thing is, I do feel like anyone would do that in that situation though. If you're in a World Cup quarterfinal or whatever it was, I think you have to handball it there. It's just, and then watch Suarez's celebration here. Look.
Oh my God. What a house.
I don't think that's that bad because I would do the same in that position. And I feel like in the Luiz Suarez catalogue of cheating, it's not top 5.
He's not bitten anybody this time, at least.
I would have said, oh dear, or a little bit naughty. Yeah, I'm happy with a little bit naughty.
I think it's time to turn our attentions to another bad boy of the Premier League. I think we should start with this.
Always gets a chuckle from me.
That zoom is so perfectly timed.
Oh, that is so good.
There it is, the straight red.
What?
Raphael got a straight red for that.
Oh my God, that is amazing. It looks like it's a bit of a late kick, but no, he literally doesn't connect with him. Oh, I think this puts David Luiz in high standings for the tier list after that.
It's worked out better than he could have ever imagined.
I think very bad boy for me. I don't think it's timeless.
We aren't done with David Luiz just yet. It's the vanishing spray.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't even work.
Ibrahimovic looks as confused as anyone, to be fair.
Yeah, he just kind of goes with it because it's what's he supposed to do in that situation? Just he can't exactly put it back, can he? I'd probably say a little bit naughty. Either that or oh dear.
I think maybe oh dear for this one to spread them out a little.
This one's also a bit of a classic. Rivaldo getting hit in the knee.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I think the guy gets a straight red for this as well. What I will say is the action of booting the ball at him from that far away is a bit weird in itself.
It's a foul either way, but obviously he goes down clutching his face, which is obviously the best part of this.
But what I quite like about this is that the title is called Rivaldo Acting Fail, when this was historically very successful. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I've got a lot of time for this one. I think maybe a little bit naughty because it's still an offence for him to boot the ball at him, but he has got him sent off by holding his face.
Yeah, that's a little bit naughty. I think this should count as a cheating moment. Kieran Gibbs getting sent off for Chamberlain's handball. I mean, it's a glorious save.
The worst thing is that it's not actually going in.
Then obviously Kieran Gibbs gets sent off for it, and you see Chamberlain going up to the ref and saying, "No, it's me."
I think oh dear for this one, personally. You don't happen to have Stephen Taylor in this list, do you?
I do not know.
Let me educate you here. Stephen Taylor is a Newcastle defender. When he was last man and would save the ball going into the goal that would normally be a goal, he would then act like it had hit his chest and like perform this weird arched back exorcism sort of maneuver to try and con the ref into believing that he'd been hit in the midriff instead of his hand. And he did it like 3 different times. I don't think it ever worked, but it was just amazing.
So that's what they modelled the Skyrim death animation off.
Like, look at the arch back. It's just so obvious. The ref doesn't buy it for like a millisecond. Obviously, he didn't get away with this, but I still just think it's funny. So I would put this in a little bit naughty.
This is a bit of a personal favourite. Does Brian Carrasco punching himself in the face mean anything to you?
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter. So good. It's actually quite convincing as well.
Because you can see from the referee's angle, he can't see Carrasco's left hand do that, so all he probably sees is the hand go to his face.
This is an impressive one.
I'd say possibly very bad boy. Next up, I want to throw in a bit of a controversial one. Do you remember the Bielsa Spygate incident?
Yes.
This is interesting because at the time he'd technically not done anything wrong. I think they only included a rule after this happened. And Bielsa's response is just top tier. To go into a press conference and then just basically show all of their in-depth scouting and analysis that they've done for every team, just to say spying on Derby won't make a big impact in the game because they have all of this other analysis going on.
This man gained a lot more respect from me when this came out.
This is either a little bit naughty or nothing wrong with it.
I think nothing wrong with that. If Derby security isn't good enough to keep out lead scouts spying on them, I think that's on them.
This one might not be very well known, but Marwin Hitz, a German goalkeeper, he scuffed the penalty spot while the referee was talking to someone, and then the striker slipped while trying to take the penalty, and obviously he saved it.
I mean, quite a lot of people have done this. Do you remember the Colombian team did this against England in the World Cup? Kane still scored anyway, so have that. Oh my word.
Look at him go.
He's like fully destroying that penalty spot as well.
Yeah, that's not just scuffed, and then yeah, obviously he slips on it and he saves it.
Ultimately, he's only really played himself though, because it's actually a really good save and he probably gets no credit for it.
I didn't actually touch the spot itself, I just loosened up the ground around it.
It would be much funnier if he went into the interview and just basically said, the game's the game.
It must have been the foot of God. I think the fact that he has scuffed it up and the player has missed the penalty, it gives it a bit more of an impact.
I'd say a little bit naughty. I think this is quite frowned upon.
Very much dark arts territory again, I think. I'm just gonna throw in my absolute favourite moment from all of this. This photo gives very little away.
Wait, I know this is where the steward runs on and saves a goal, right?
It was the team Masseuse who was strategically placed behind the goal.
You can see him lurking there.
Yeah, and the double save is the aftermath that does it for me. Look at him go.
It's like an official, Oh my god.
The water bottles to the head is the best bit for me.
It's full like year 9 versus year 10 vibes at the end of that video, isn't it? It looks so pre-planned, that's why it's brilliant as well. I think this could be top tier for me.
That definitely deserves to be an elite housery. I'm just going to throw this in there. A Spanish manager called Enrique Martin, when the opposition player was bombing down the wing for a counter-attack, decided to stick his foot in, if you will.
Just to Jose Mourinho in Soccer Aid.
So nonchalant. It's just so simple but elegant.
That's a personal favourite of mine.
I think that could be in the top 2 tiers.
Yeah, I think that's probably very bad boy.
So we got a different kind of cheating for this one. Does the name Mohammed Anas mean anything to you?
No, actually.
Let me just show you the clip.
Thank you very much for giving me this. And I appreciate my fans also. My wife and my girlfriend. My wife. Yeah, sorry to say. I'm so sorry, my wife, Lizzle.
Oh no, not in 4K.
He did like a follow-up interview with BBC to talk about this. His excuse was, my family knows that I call my daughter my girlfriend. That's what I was talking about. I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, that clears everything up.
I think this one goes nicely into the oh dear category.
Yeah, I think an oh dear.
So next up, we have this bloke right here.
I don't know who this is.
How old does he look to you?
Oh, okay. I'm assuming there's a fake birth certificate involved here.
There's been a few cases of of people lying about their ages in football, but Toby here has done it 3 times. So first of all, during the 1996 AFCON, he used a birth certificate stating that he was 31 years old. Then 1 year later, when he joined a new team, apparently he was 23 years old. But then, it's not over yet, because at the next AFCON in 1998, he ends up being back to 28 years old. So he goes from 31 to 23 to 28 over about 3 years. And apparently no one picks up on it, even after like the first time.
Like, some people's faces are kind of hard to place, but he literally looks like he's 40. Do you know what I mean? Like, why haven't they looked at it before now? Maybe oh dear, because I don't think it's that funny.
So this one's a very niche one, but I just find it absolutely hilarious. This one's called Cotorium Gym and Wilfrid Leisure Centre. This is the photo I've chosen for this. With the 1994 Goan 2nd Division title race nearing its climax, local village rivals Cotorium Gym and Wilfrid Leisure were level on points at the top of the league on the final day. Cotorium Gym needed to score more goals than their rivals to secure the title. They did, winning their game 61-1. But it's a good job they did, because their rivals ran out as 55-1 winners. The Goan FA suspended both sides for a year, as well as their obliging opponents, who had courteously crumbled in their respective second halves.
This is cheating at a monstrous level, claimed one Goan FA official.
But the fact that they're both just as bad as each other. Like, if you're gonna match fix, at least do it subtly.
I like how they've decided to score a goal to make it believable, and then proceeded to score 61.
It's just absolutely hilarious. I absolutely love this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well.
For quite how spectacular it is, I think this could be elite housery.
Yeah, I think put it up there. I like it. I'm happy with that tier list. I think that's looking nice. I'm happy with our choices there.
Actually, you know what? I know we're really pushed for time, but there's one more that I would like to throw in. It's Hugh Wizzy stepping miles off his line to save the ChrisMD penalty. I think we need to watch it back once again, don't you, Chris?
I actually don't. Is that the time? My God, gotta head off. Sorry about that.
Do you not want justice?
We're cracking up as we talk. I'm gonna have to. Yep, sorry.
You know, in that case, I think we put it in nothing wrong with it, because I think the Hugh Wizzy's absolutely fine, obviously, if you don't care that much. Oh, he's gone.